we're going to take a journey through one of the most incredible, non-stop delivery services in the entire universe. And the wildest part? It's happening inside you, right this second. I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? How does the food you eat become energy in your big toe? Or how does the air you breathe fuel the thoughts in your head? How does all that essential stuff get from point A to, well, literally trillions of different point Bs all over your body? Well, the answer is your circulatory system. You can think of it as this massive, sprawling network of highways, main roads, and tiny little side streets, all connected to a powerful central station. It's a system designed to transport absolutely vital cargo to every single cell in your body, every moment of the day. And sitting right at the heart of that entire operation, no pun intended, is the tireless, powerful pump itself, your heart. This isn't just some passive station, though. Oh no, it's the power plant. It's the engine that makes the entire city work. This incredible muscle is what generates all the pressure needed to shove blood through thousands and thousands of miles of blood vessels.
So the heart has this brilliant 4-chamber design that kind of works like 2 separate apartments, each with a very specific job. On one side, you've got the blood that's just come back from its delivery route. It's dropped off all its oxygen. It flows into the right atrium, gets passed down to the right ventricle, and then, whoosh, it gets shot over to the lungs for an oxygen refill. Then, once it's fully reloaded, it comes back to the other side, the left atrium, then down to the powerhouse, the left ventricle, which gives it a massive push out to the entire body. It's an amazing loop.
And this division of labor is absolutely crucial. See, by keeping the oxygen-poor blood and the oxygen-rich blood completely separate, the system becomes incredibly efficient. The right side is the specialist, right? It just deals with sending used blood to the lungs. But the left side, that's the powerhouse. It handles all the fresh, oxygenated blood and pumps it out to the body's biggest highway, the aorta.
And get this, the whole process, one full cardiac cycle, that's the atria and ventricles contracting and then relaxing, the whole thing takes just about 0.8 seconds. It's this incredibly fast, perfectly timed dance that happens around 70 times every minute, and you don't even have to think about it. It just works.
So, okay, the blood leaves the heart under all that pressure. Now it needs a road system, right? And that's where the blood vessels come in. These are the highways and side streets of your body.
Now we have 2 main types of roads. First, you've got the arteries. Think of these as the major highways leading away from the central station. They're built to handle that high-pressure, freshly pumped blood. Then you have the veins, which are the highways leading back toward the station, bringing all the used blood back home. Here's a super easy way to remember it. Arteries carry blood away. A for arteries, A for away.
But wait a minute, this brings up a fascinating puzzle. The heart gives that initial push, sure, but that pressure doesn't last forever. So how in the world does the blood in your legs, for example, flow upwards, completely against gravity, to get back to your heart? Why doesn't it just all pull down at your feet?
For a very long time, this was a huge mystery. But then, back in the 1600s, an English physician named William Harvey came along. And he didn't have any fancy lab equipment, just his eyes, his hands, and a really, really smart idea.
Harvey's experiment was just ingenious in its simplicity. He'd tie a tourniquet on someone's arm to make the veins pop out. Then he'd press down on a vein to block it, push the blood out of a section, and then try to force it back down the arm, away from the heart. But it wouldn't go. The vein would only refill from the direction of the hand. And that proved it. There had to be tiny one-way valves inside our veins that stop blood from flowing backward. It was a total game changer.
But there was still one missing piece in Harvey's puzzle. How did the blood get from the arteries to the veins? The answer was found in the tiniest side streets of all, the capillaries. These are microscopic vessels, so small you can't see them. And this is where the real magic happens. This is where oxygen and nutrients are actually dropped off to the cells, and where all the waste products are picked up.
And the guy we have to thank for finding them is an Italian scientist named Marcello Malpighi. Using one of the first microscopes, he was the first human to actually lay eyes on these hair-thin vessels, which he named capillaries. His discovery was the final piece of the puzzle, connecting all the dots and giving us the complete picture of circulation that we have today.
Okay, so we've covered the pump and the road network, but what about the delivery trucks themselves and the cargo they're carrying? Let's talk about blood.
Blood isn't just some red liquid. It's a living, complex tissue. Most of it is a yellowish liquid called plasma. But floating in that plasma, you've got the red blood cells, which are the oxygen delivery trucks. You have the white blood cells, which are like the immune system security guards. And you have platelets, the emergency repair crew.
Which, of course, brings us to another critical question. You've got this high-pressure system of pipes running all through your body. Leaks are bound to happen, right? A simple paper cut is a breach in the system. So how does the body handle these emergency repairs so quickly? Well, the answer is this amazing chain reaction called the clotting cascade. It's like a line of dominoes. The second a blood vessel is damaged, platelets rush to the scene. They release an enzyme that tips over the first domino. This kicks off a super fast series of chemical reactions, which ends with a dissolved protein in your blood turning into sticky, thread-like fibers called fibrin. These fibers form a tiny net over the wound, trapping blood cells and plugging the leak. It is a stunning piece of biological engineering.
I mean, this whole intricate system is the result of millions of years of evolution. And while things like blood clotting have become super advanced, our bodies still have reminders of that long journey. In fact, scientists have found around 180 vestigial structures in the human body, things that were useful for our ancestors but aren't as critical today. It's a really cool reminder that our bodies are kind of like living, moving museums of natural history.
But believe it or not, the story doesn't even end there. The network of arteries and veins isn't the only transportation system we have. It has a crucial partner, a second network that runs in parallel, called the lymphatic system.
This quote really sums it up perfectly. As blood plasma seeps out of those tiny capillaries to drop off nutrients, not all of it gets back in. The leftover fluid is called lymph, and it gets picked up by the lymphatic system. Think of it like a city's drainage and sanitation department. It collects the fluid, filters it, cleans it, and then returns it safely to the bloodstream. It's also a huge part of your immune system.
So when you just step back and look at the whole thing, this transportation network inside of us is it's breathtaking. The complexity, the efficiency, it's a silent, perfectly coordinated ballet of pumps and vessels and cells all working together. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible hidden systems are humming away inside you right now just to make you, you?